Welcome back to our second part of the virtual campus conversation, and thank you for staying with us. Now we are having with us in the studio Provost Ehab Abdel-Rahman, AUC Provost, and we will have online Dr. Aziza Ellozy, Professor Aziza Ellozy, Associate Provost for Transformative Learning and Teaching. Dr. Ehab, we have, as we finished our first week of online teaching, we received a big number of questions. Let me start by the first question, and this is from a student. And if the crisis of the COVID-19 continued till the end of the summer, is there a plan B for the summer semester for the AUC operations? That was repeated from a student and from staff at AUC.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rasha. Thank you. This is a very important question. Of course, we have a plan for if this situation continue until the summer. We have a plan on what are we going to do with the summer. By the way, cancellation of the summer is one of the options that we are considering, but we're not taking that decision yet. As you may know, that we have 3 summer sessions: summer A, which is for 3 weeks, summer B for another 3 weeks, and we have the whole full summer, which is 6 weeks classes. We're ready to cancel part of the summer classes if needed, or cancel the whole summer classes if it's also needed, and the decision will be taken in due time. We're not ready to take that decision yet.
Okay, a relatable question to the summer semester and to the fall semester is about the registration for the summer and fall. So when will the student be notified, or when you as an administration will take a decision about the declaration and the registration for the next semester?
You know, in the task force, we put April 10th as a time for us to look at all major decisions, including the summer. So by April 10th, people will know what will be our plan for the summer and for the registration for the fall and for the summer as well.
Okay. We have also got a question from the students who are want to join the AUC, and they are asking if there is any alternatives that you have put in order to take the students whose SAT exams and IG also got cancelled.
I would have to say AUC is also ahead of curve when it comes to that. As you know, many of the examination boards have cancelled their examinations in Egypt and worldwide, and now we're trying to. There is a task force working on what will EUC plan to actually admit those new students if they apply to EUC, if they cannot take the SAT exams or the GCSE exams. We know also the National Baccalaureate have cancelled their final exam as well, and they will depend only on the mock exam. So there is a task force led by Dr. Zainab Amin and Randa Kamil and other colleagues from SSE looking at that situation, and within a few days we will have a decision on that. We are considering having also our own exam. This is one of the things that we're considering to admit students to AUC. Stay tuned, we're working on it, and we will announce in due time. But what we have done, which is very importantly, is we extended our deadline for application, and now it's open indefinitely. So if you are a parent or a student from high school who's watching us now, please continue to apply to AUC, because we need also to help the community at that time of uncertainty.
Okay, this is very important announcement about the extension of the deadline. And I think we have Dr. Aziza Ellozy with us online. Dr. Aziza, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
Okay, hi Dr. Aziza. Dr.
Hello,
Aziza, can you please give us the latest updates about the online learning? You have some announcements to make about the surveys that you will be distribute.
Yes, because one of the main goals that we have is that we continue to give a good quality education, even if we've turned online, which is a new experience for faculty and students. So for that, we have put into place, starting this afternoon, and we've started before also, but starting this afternoon, we're going to be surveying every single day faculty and students to see what their experience is, and to be able to rectify or to be able to address any challenge that a student may have or that the faculty may have.
We are encouraging everyone to take it very seriously in order to keep updating.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
If I may also comment on that. Um, since day one from our online teaching, we asked all deans to follow up with their faculty and chairs to collect information from the faculty and hopefully from students too on how is the day going, what are the problems that we are facing. If there are issues, they should surface those issues to us as soon as possible. And many issues have been surfaced to us on daily basis, and we have addressed them as we go on. The surveys is to complete the cycle to get the feedback, full feedback from students on each course too, and from each faculty on his or her courses, so we can have a full picture on what's going on. We will be working during the weekend on getting those, hovering over the feedback that will come from the community, and we will be addressing them over the weekend. So our deans, chairs will be working over the weekend to address those issues, not only them also, but all the support that we get from IT, operation, and so rest assured that we are monitoring the situation very carefully. We're looking at all aspects of it. Please communicate with us. Send us your the feedback that you have, so we can actually resolve the issues as we go on.
Okay, Dr. Ehab, I will come back to you about the challenges, some of the challenges that you have already overcome, to give us more about these challenges. But let me go back to Dr. Aziza Ellozy. And Dr. Aziza, one of the questions, one of the complaints that we have received is that some professors are canceling their online teaching classes, the timing of the classes, and they are substituting it only with recording lectures.
Okay. The online experience is different than one in face-to-face, and certainly one of the most important thing is to engage the students. And there are certain strategies that you can do with which you can do that. And the engagement is almost as fruitful and almost as enriching, if not more enriching, than the face-to-face. However, our faculty have not been trained to do that, or have not been used to do that. And so many of them right now are doing it very well. But we have 750 faculties, so not all of them are doing as well. What we've done, we have trained them for 600 of them to how to use the technology. Many of them have also attended workshops on how to engage students. But now that we've gone online, we are going to have workshops online that are easily accessible for faculty to take webinars on how to do it. We also have on the webpage of the Center for Learning and Teaching at AUC a number of sources and resources that they can look at and read about. And the other thing is that you have almost a 24-hour service of the center. They can consult with the center for a particular question that they may have, or a particular advice, or asking for what they can do under certain circumstances. But that is the kind of feedback that we are expecting when we have the survey. We've had these feedback already, and we are addressing them, but they have to be directed or course by course, so we will know exactly which professor may have that problem, or which student may have that problem. Now, I have to say on the other side is that students also are not used to online learning, so there's a kind of discipline or the kind of adjustment that they have to do too. And I can speak to that quite a bit, but that's part of it too, that students have to be able to be more disciplined than they were usually, and to get to put in certain hours of the day where they're working and addressing, the assessments that they have to do, and so on and so forth.
Dr. Aziza, is there a certain email where students or parents can address their concerns directly to you in case there is any interactivity problem, lack of interactivity with their faculty?
Well, I would suggest that the parents, if they wish to fill in the survey for their student, they can do that. But there is a survey that's going to be open for every single student, every single day, for every single one of his courses. So if he's taking 2 courses, there'll be 2 surveys. Taking 5 courses, there'll be 5 surveys. So I suggest that day by day, if they face a challenge, let them put it in the survey. That is the best way to do it. Getting to me may not be possible because, but the survey will be looked at and will be examined and will be reported or taken action for. So that's my advice. Same thing with faculty. So That's my advice mainly.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Aziza, for joining us. Thank you very much. Back
You're
to
very
Dr. Ehab, you were talking about some of the challenges that you have faced. Can you give us some, or brief us about some of these challenges that you have overcome?
It's mainly, I think the main challenge was actually regarding how to uploading the lectures after you from faculty after they record them, and the CLT team and the IT team has actually been working on that tirelessly, and they have solved that problem yesterday, and we got the feedback already from the faculty that problem has been solved. That was the main challenge that we have faced. The other challenge that we are facing is students tell us that faculty are not really when they meet face to face online, which is through Zoom, they schedule those meetings at different class times, and we ask the faculty to stick to the class time, not to confuse the students and not to mess up with the scheduling of the university at large. So I'm telling the faculty, please, if you're using Zoom to have a face-to-face classes online with your students, schedule those Zoom meetings during your class time.
Okay. Another question that came from some of the students, and it seems also that it is another challenge for the students and would be for the administration, is about the practical courses.
Yes.
People who are majoring engineering, students majoring engineering, or students at the graphic design department, they are asking what is the university plan for this practical courses, keeping in mind that they would not be able to get the full experience even if they are communicating with their faculty on a regular basis, and interactivity also is guaranteed.
Before we start even the online teaching this week, we have addressed that issue, and we looked at all courses in engineering and specifically in arts, also arts department too, because there is a practical component there and there is a face-to-face component that has to be done in class, in lab, or in the theater. And we went with the dean of the SSE over all classes, and the associate dean of the School of Sciences and Engineering, as well as the dean of HUS and the chair of the Department of Arts on every single class, and we had a solution for them, and or at least they proposed solution to us. So please, if you still have a problem with those practical classes or labs, please put that in the survey so we would address the problem that you're facing, and we will discuss that with the dean and the faculty member or the chair, and we'll get back to you on that.
Okay, another question was about the students at the dorms. So will students be able to come back to the dorms, or they will stay in their governorates, which might be a kind of problem for them because maybe the internet connectivity at some of the governorates would not be as good as in Cairo?
We are advising our students actually to stay home and for time being, and Vice President Dina Borai is following on the situation of the students on the dorms. So if you have a specific question regarding the dorms, please address that question to Dr. Dina Borai, the Vice President for Students Affairs, and she may allow some students to come back to the dorms. She may not allow it, depends on the situation. But we're also committed to our students who are on a scholarship and they do not have the means to get internet connection, that we deploy to them some internet connection so they can actually follow up on their online classes. And our Vice President, Ayman Abdel-Latif, for digital innovation, has been following on that issue with Dean George Markey.
Okay, students at the graduate classes, if they have also issue with the practical courses, so they should also fill the online surveys. So the graduate students are going to receive online surveys as the undergraduate.
This is correct. The surveys is for all students, graduate and undergraduate. Please fill the surveys in, because that will help us actually to address the situation that we are facing now.
Okay, Provost Ehab, we are come to an end of our questions, but I would like to leave the last minute for you. If you have a certain message you want to direct to the AUC community, to the students, to the faculty, please.
So, and I had a meeting, actually I had an interview with Tamer Amin over TV a couple of days ago, or yesterday actually, the day before. And he asked me if I'm stressed. And my answer to him was actually no. This is the least stress that I got in my life nowadays, simply because everyone at EUC is at his best. So my message to all of our students, faculty, and staff, thank you very much. You have made it very easy on me to manage that situation, and the credit goes to all of you, every one of you, student, faculty, and staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Ehab, very much, and thank you to our audience for staying with us, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you very much.